Welcome back to my channel. I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee without a doubt. Always providing you with only the best of entertainment. I have managed to scratch up a new project. Let's check it out. A 1982 Honda Nighthawk. It is a 450, which is a parallel twin, which I absolutely love. I was told this bike hasn't run for over 8 years. If this is correct, that's pretty low miles, 7,120. It simply does not get much better than this. Just gonna let the gas run out of the tank here and clean the gas tank up first. So that's how much gas was in it. We'll now take a peek inside of the petrol tank and see what it looks like. You certainly don't see this every day. This is amazing. Incredible, if you will. This tank is nearly perfectly clean. In spite of how clean the gas tank is, removal of the petrol tank is inevitable because I need to get to the carburetors. All 12 millimeter. We'll take a peek inside of our petcock bowl here. The screen. Oh, just turned up there. So not looking bad at all in there. Looks good. Nothing at all on the screen whatsoever. That is unheard of. There's simply nothing more to do with this fuel tank but put it back together. Maybe clean it out with a little fresh fuel and then fill it up. I did clean our little bowl out. No air filter. All 10 millimeter stuff. Oh. Everybody's gonna yell at me about not having JIC screwdrivers. And this is called insult to injury. Well, that was painful. Now we'll look in these carbs and we'll figure out the mystery in the history, as Noped Thursday says. Check his channel out. He is a moped wizard. Let's take a peek. I'm probably not going to get too deep into these. If they're pretty clean, I'll just put new seals, needle and seat, clean them up, and it'll be good to go. Possibly an accelerator pump. I'm not sure, to be honest. Moment of truth. Hello. Not good, but certainly not bad. That's what she looks like, friends. Notice the float's kind of sticking, or it was until I started working it. The needle's stuck, you can tell. That's why we're in these carburetors. Interesting, this little piece right here, whether it's an accelerator pump or a fuel pump or something, is only on one carburetor. This side looking good, maybe even a little more clean than the other side. I don't know how that's possible, but that's the way it looks. Even the float is not sticking on this side. Watch. See how it goes all the way up and down? Look at this one. Still stuck about halfway. That needle is stuck, and I don't want to damage the float. No harm done, but that could have turned out bad. One good thing I'm seeing for sure, there has not been ethanol fuel run through this motorbike. I can tell because there's not that white powdery stuff. What that is just aluminum being eat up on the inside of the carbs. Everything's all stopped up, worse than I actually thought it would be. Interesting, no diaphragms. I'm used to seeing diaphragms in here, but it must work with an O-ring or something like that. Perhaps just close tolerances, I'm not sure. So this must be what seals the diaphragms, this little Teflon ring. Something you need to know, these carburetors are much more complicated than, say, a CB350 or a CB360. Older bikes don't have all of this, what I believe to be unnecessary crap along with it. There's a spring under here that's going to jump out at us. Dried up diaphragm. These appear to be some kind of fuel pumps or accelerator pump. I would think this is a fuel pump. Be sure to remove all plastic and rubber off of these carburetors. Itty bitty splitty pin right here on the end of this. Reason for that is to get this little piece of plastic off. This little piece in here I believe to be plastic. So it's got to be removed. It would have to anyways, because you want to clean all the ports you can. There is a little tiny O-ring that fits right here. I must have lost it when I took it apart. Time now to give these carbs a good soaking. I know it's going to be difficult, but please refrain from telling me how wonderful ultrasonic cleaners are. I had one, tried it, been there, done that. I have no interest in them whatsoever. No need to telling me what I was doing was wrong, or I had the temperature wrong, or I didn't leave it in long enough, or use the wrong detergent. I really could care less. I'm old school. This chem dip works, never let me down, and I'm sticking with it. Time for assembly. I'll show a little more detail while putting it together for you. First, this little piece goes right here. Second, the main jet will go in next, right on top of it. Next, this little piece here. And finally, this here, I guess, slow jet. We can install the new needle onto the float and the float into the carburetor. Should go without saying, everything should be completely spotless after cleaning. Our little screw, a spring, a tiny washer, you probably can't see it, but take my word for it, and an O-ring will go into this slot right here. 2.5 turns out. That's what I checked when I took it apart. There's 1, 2, and that's a half. Interesting, this screw is scraped all up on this one side, like flattened. Can you see that? Wonder what caused that. Don't forget your little rubber plug. like I just did, but I edited it off. New bowl gasket. It's not going to stay. I'm going to put a little grease on there. I don't want to get too carried away, but it ain't going to hurt it. The grease is just to hold the gasket, of course. Our 3 Phillips screws, they're the longest ones, I believe. This is the bowl with the accelerator pump, and it has another little seal right here. Now I'll just slam it on like I did the other one. Next, our little diaphragm goes in like this. I'm not sure the proper name or reasoning for this thing, but hello, it doesn't want to fit. Our little aftermarket diaphragm didn't fit. I had to file this end right here so that it would slide in here. So that's the kind of crap you get into when you get aftermarket junk. But that's okay, it works. Cone-shaped seal. I'm sure it's hard to see, but I'm pointing it downward, the cone downward. Our cap and 2 screws. Nope. Almost forgot spring. Spring. Now cap. The slide side, we'll put our plastic doodad back in here. Now for our slides, this piece right here, the flat part, my finger is on, it's flat, goes down on the carburetor side. It'll fit just like that, and it'll leave like a groove around here, like a groove you would see that an O-ring would go in, but it doesn't. The easiest way to get the slide in is to hold it straight up, because the needle needs to get in its spot, and this slot right here needs to line up with our black plastic doodad piece. Don't force it. She should drop right in. Goofy spring. Now cap time. And our 2 screws. Want to make sure she's working right? Just huff in this spot right there and listen to the slide go up and down. It should go up and down real smooth and easy. I'll demonstrate. Why not? Our little white plastic will go on just like this. Spring, the wide end goes up. Little washer. And I can't find a cotter pin, so we're just going to have to home make this and make it work, but I think it'll be alright. I have to do it like this. And like that. And I'll twist it on there. And that's what I did with a cotter pin, because it's too big to fit in there. It's okay, it'll work as long as it's out of the way of everything when I actuate the throttle. Our idle adjustment screw finger. Time to install the tubes in the carburetors. They have new O-rings on here. I'm going to grease them and slip them in like so. It's going to be a little difficult because these O-rings they're not the right size. They didn't come the right size in the kit, so I'll put it together and then show it to you. A view from the back of the carburetor, and when everything's put together, you just check it, make sure everything's working properly the way it's supposed to. There's your view from the front side, and again, just check all of your linkage and stuff, make sure everything's working properly. This is just a pain in the butt. It's hard to film because it just takes time and patience and scratching away at it to put that center pieces all together. Time to put the accelerator pump in. I made a mistake. I had to take the bowl back off, and that's because of this little piece right here. It's just a little dust boot that fits right in there like that. And what holds it is it going in like that, and then the bowl. So now we can install the bowl and finish up with the accelerator pump. Now for the diaphragm. I'm just being careful not to push that dust boot out. It will get pushed out if you're not careful. Our spring, then cover. So that's it. As far as I know, it's time to install the carburetors back onto the motorbike. Nice new fresh AGM battery. Who doesn't love a fresh new battery? Nice new fuel line. Oh, carburetor leak. Bad. What's going on here? It's pouring out of there. I can't tell where it's at, but we'll figure it out. Most common fix to a carburetor leaking after rebuild is just to tap on it. The float is usually sticking or something or another. The needle's not seated good and it's coming out of the overflows. And in this case, it fixed it. And it normally does. Well, let's see what happens. I don't know if it has spark or not. The best way to check is to hit the button. Maybe it'll fire up and we won't have to worry about checking spark. Key on, choke up. And no start. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh, something. Our lights. Oh, our lights are coming in and out. I'm not sure what's going on, but did you hear that? It sounded like they're going to start. Quiet. Should we gouge it? It's got a pretty good hesitation, but it's revving up. Well, there you have it. It's not running at its full potential. I can't get it wide open just yet. But that's okay, it's coming and coming soon. It runs smooth, quiet, no noises. I don't hear any ticking, no smoke. We've got ourselves a good motorbike here. She just needs a little bit more attention. But we're certainly off to a good start. That's it for this one, guys. We got our first start in. Much more to come on this motorbike. Thanks for watching.